Now, if the people that raised me look like this, and I turn out to look like this, yeah, I would have a couple of questions as to who my parents are. Texas Chainsaw 3D has turned 10 and I am here to remind you of it. We're going to be hopping into our DeLorean and going back 10 years ago, because 10 years ago today we got the first look at Texas Chainsaw, and boy, it's been a minute since I've seen this film, so I have barely remembered, but thank God I got a refresher for this review. A young woman travels to Texas with her friends to collect an inheritance. Little does she know that collecting an inheritance comes with a prize. And it's been a minute since I've seen this film. I remember watching it for the first time about 7 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. Now, I vividly remember this film because I really wanted to go see this film in 3D because I am a big 3D fan. So if I get the chance to see a film in 3D, then I'm going to be able to take my chance to take it. But I was too scared to watch this film in 3D because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. So I pulled it off until I saw it on DVD, and boy, it just went in one eye and went out the other, because I vaguely remember this film. The only thing that I really remember about this film is the fact that Trey Songz cheats on my girl Annabeth, and boy, this movie does not hold up. It's been 10 years since this film came out, and it's just as ridiculous as it probably was 10 years ago. There are a couple moments that I do appreciate. I appreciate that this film picks up exactly right where the first one left off and continuing about 28 years later. I really like that focus, and for the most part, it has some fun elements. There are a couple of things that I like in that first 5 to 10 minutes that I thought was very promising. However, we meet the friends, and boy, are they the worst friends on the planet. They pick up a hitchhiker, and the first thing they do once they get there is leave the house to this fucking guy that they don't even fucking know that they just picked up at the fucking gas station. Why? Why? Not only that, but you also have a couple of moments in this film where there are building a lot of tensions, and you know exactly how these cheap jump scares are going to happen. You know, a jump scare is going to have some subtle music, and then it's going to reveal that it's absolutely nothing, and it happens a couple of times in this film. And this film lacks a lot of that tension. It lacks a lot of that fun that you would want from a film like this, and boy, was it January 10 years ago. We have come a long way from bad horror movies. Hopefully, Megan will be able to break that. And this film proves that it has been January for a long while. Luckily, we have been able to have better films come out in January, but that's not always the case. And this film proves that 10 years ago, January was the time that you can just skip and just stay home during the wintertime, because this movie was absolutely worthless. Going into this rewatch and trying to find some fun elements about this film, I could not. Mostly because these characters are the most stupidest people that you have ever met and will ever see on screen. I don't think it's awful. I just think it is a bad movie. There are some okay kills that I really appreciated. I really liked the carnival scene. I thought that was a little bit better. I thought it was shot well. It had that heightened tension of who may or may not be slaughtered. But other than that, you have such stupid characters, and you also have a really ridiculous turn with Scott Eastwood in this film, and the acting is atrocious, especially from my girl Alexandra Daddario. I think the reveal of Alexandra Daddario being Leatherface's cousin does work, but boy, does this movie have a lot of cheesy lines in this film. Lines that I soon will never forget. But overall, I'm pretty sure you already know this, but I would not recommend you guys check out Texas Chainsaw in 2D or 3D. I think it would have been cool in 3D, maybe not. Maybe it's still a useless gimmick at that point. But I think there were some moments in this film, from the looks of it, that could have been fun in 3D, at least for me. But those are my thoughts on Texas Chainsaw. Are you in the minority that has some fun with this film and find it as a guilty pleasure? Or do you just hate it overall? Which one's your favorite Texas Chainsaw movie? And what is your least favorite? Go ahead and drop those thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on more reviews. Click that bell notification so you get notified every single time that a video pops up. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.